How do you really feel about moving out? I feel like will be one of the worst days of my life. Do you think moving out will make you want a family quicker? Have Sunny, have a baby, and I honestly was upset for about 2 weeks over the things people said about me. Will you be getting another dog? It's not a promise, but it is in my mind. This is a lesson that I learned recently. I try not to think about it too much, but I do think about it when I go to bed, and I have cried about it. Hello everyone! I'm so excited for this video because I've got McDonald's right in front of me. Also, side note before we start, how clever is this, right? So McDonald's is about a 20-minute drive from my house, like it's not close. So I now take my cool bag with me. It had never crossed my mind before that yes, it keeps stuff cold, but it also keeps stuff hot. So I've just got back, got the McDonald's here. I haven't even looked in this bag, so I hope they got my order right. All looks pretty good, wow, surprisingly. Chips are a 6 out of 10 today. And I'm round at my house because I thought we would do a little McDonald's mukbang, Christmas, moving out Q&A. Also, my mum and dad have got builders in at their house today, so I can't really film around there. So I asked for your questions on Instagram. I'm really sorry if it's a little bit echoey. Obviously, my house is empty right now. I have a whole bunch of tools, spade-looking things down there. I've got my electric fireplace over here. So background is giving Reno chaos a little bit. This is my #1 McDonald's order ever. Chicken Big Mac. I wish it was on the menu all the time. So I got that as a medium meal with my 6 out of 10 chips. I also got cheese melt dippers, and they remembered the dip. She did ask when I was going through the drive-thru, do you want them as a side or a share box? And I so nearly said share box, but I really don't need more than 4. And I wasn't gonna get this, wasn't on my plan, but I've got the Galaxy caramel pie to try. Oh, and a Diet Coke, of course, can't forget her. I feel like I should kind of show you guys before I start like a little renovation update, because upstairs is looking very different to when I last showed you. So I'll film that after because this is getting cold, but I'll insert that clip here. So now when you come upstairs, ignore all the little bits of carpet because we were obviously cutting the carpet up, ripping it, chucking it down the stairs. All the carpet up here is up, all the doors are off. This is our bedroom right now, so we had the electrician in yesterday doing a bit of electric work, putting some more plug sockets in. Over this side as well, this plug socket is going to be for the telly. And my boyfriend and I have started stripping the wallpaper in here, which is so difficult because not only is there wallpaper, there are 4 layers of paint on it. So luckily this wall doesn't need doing, but this one, and this one by the window all need doing. So that job started. It's obviously looking a little bit chaotic through here. All the like carpet, what's it called? The thing that like holds carpet down, the metal looking thing. And all the carpet grippers around the edge have all come up. Again, we have some more floorboards up from the electrician. Some new plug sockets in here. This one's my office. And we've also started filling holes, which you can see here. Pretty much the same in this room. Fill-in, plugs, no carpet, no doors. And in the bathroom, we've taken down all the furnishings, is it called? Like the mirror, cupboard. It's just the main bulk of stuff to come out now. And then we need to start detailing. So yeah, this is the boiler cupboard, which is looking a little bit scary, I can't lie. I'm gonna box this in and make it look nicer. But that's a little renovation update for today. Okay, so I'm just looking through the questions. There are quite a few Christmassy related ones, obviously. And the first question is, do you spend Christmas Day with your boyfriend, or how will it work? I think this will be our 3rd Christmas that we've known each other. So we haven't spent Christmas Day together yet, and we're not going to this year either. I think because we're moving out together next year, we've decided to have one last Christmas at home with our families as like our traditional Christmas, you know what I mean? Because next year obviously it will be a bit different because we'll be waking up here. We'll probably see both our families next year on Christmas Day, whereas this year we're kind of relishing in like one last childhood Christmas, which I think is really lovely. This year my family have a big Christmas shindig on the 23rd, so he'll be coming to that with me. Then I'll probably go to his on Christmas Eve, but come home that evening, wake up in my own house on Christmas Day with Sunny, and keep it pretty normal. And then neither of us really do anything on Boxing Day, so we've not really thought that far ahead, to be honest. Someone said, what have you got Sunny for Christmas? I have got Sunny the cutest toys ever. I'll leave them linked down below, but she absolutely loves like silicone, rubbery, latex toys. They're always the loudest one, so bear that in mind if you're going to buy them. And there's a company called Pet Face, and they do some of her favourite toys, like they've got a squeaky apple, they've got a tomato, and this year I've got her some little like biscuit versions. I think there's a cherry bakewell, a French fancy, a pink wafer, a party ring, and an orange for a bit of balance. I've barely spent any time in the house on my own yet, so it still feels a little bit like I'm in someone else's house. Like I'm not fully comfortable here at the moment. And obviously it's kind of like dusty, dirty, not the homeliest feeling right now. But each time that I spend time here, I am starting to get used to it a little bit more and it feels a bit more like mine. Someone said, do you have any tips for when you're feeling anxious / overwhelmed all the time? This is a lesson that I learned recently. You have to take time out for yourself. It sounds so cliche and I never really listened to it before. Like, yeah, take time out for self-care. I thought, yeah, I'll do a face mask every now and again, but it's not that. You need time to switch your brain off. I know that might be hard depending on like what job you've got, what hours you work, but if you can take a Sunday or a Saturday or a day during the week, depending on your schedule, to not make any plans, to just have a day for you, sit on the sofa, watch a film, make your favourite dinner. That is self-care. It's not necessarily doing a face mask or having a bubble bath. It's just taking time out of real life. I think you've got to do it every now and again. So that would be my #1 tip. I wish I could take my own advice that well. I am a little bit of a hypocrite. Next question is, how do you think Sunny will cope with moving? I think she'll be all right. I haven't really thought about it too much because I think I'll worry myself if I overthink it. But to be honest, wherever I am, she's fine. Like if we go away for a few nights and she comes with us, she's fine. She can sleep in a different house or a different room. As long as I'm there, she's all right. So I think she will be okay. And obviously she's coming round to the house pretty much every time I come round here. She did her first poo in the garden yesterday, so that was big news. What a milestone. So I think she's kind of getting to know that like this house is ours. Every time we walk past it, she runs up the driveway because she wants to come in. So I think by the time we actually move, which isn't going to be until probably February, March time at the earliest, by the time it gets to that, she will have been around here so much that I'm hoping it's going to be quite an easy transition, but we'll see. I might have a few sleepless nights when we're settling in with her, just if she's barking through the night or she doesn't want to be on her own down here. But we'll persist through it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The faith I'm putting in my Primark call bag to keep my cheese bites warm right now, if it's let me down, I'm going to be very upset. Someone said, I'm looking to buy a house. What would be your best tips? I think #1 tip is don't rush it. You're bound to go and view a house and get excited and picture your life there. But it's a long process and people are going to let you down, so try not to get too disheartened if things like that happen. This wasn't actually the first house I viewed. It wasn't even for sale when I first started looking, so I actually viewed another house, put an offer in for that, got accepted for that, and then the sellers backed out, so I lost out on that house. But looking back, everything happens for a reason, and this one's actually a lot more suitable for me. It was a very similar house, don't get me wrong, but it didn't have a utility room, so I was gonna have to put that on it. It had a lovely view over a field. That is the only thing that I'm a bit gutted about. But this one is closer to my family home, and this one just feels more homely, I think. So yeah, don't be disheartened when you're looking, and also chase your solicitors because they will be slow. Sometimes I can't help it, it's just a long process, but you have got to irritate people when you're buying a house and going through the process of that. After your offer's been accepted, email them, email them, email them. Be irritating, it gets you places. Right, this is the moment of truth. Oh, they are still a little bit warm. Dip, dip, dip. They are a little bit solid, but it's fine. They still taste delicious. Next question is, what's the biggest thing you wish you'd known when you started Sunnyside? Probably that there's going to be busier and quieter times when you run a business. I remember the first time that I hit like a quiet period. It's usually in February time. I was so worried. I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is over. I'm done. But it's actually a really natural thing for a business to like have peaks and troughs. So I wish I'd known that from the start and not worried about it when it happened. Which room in the house are you most excited to complete? Definitely the kitchen / extension. I mean, the extension still isn't 100% confirmed. I'm still waiting on that final price. I'm not gonna lie, the price is what's gonna determine whether I go for it or not. Because I don't mind the fact that it's gonna take 5 or 6 weeks. Like, that doesn't really bother me because I wasn't planning on moving in straight away anyway. And I'd much rather, if possible, have the extension done before I move in, because I just know once I'm in, I'm not going to do it like 5 years down the line because it's so much faff to live in. I would really like in my head to do the extension, and I'm really excited about the prospect of it and having like a really nice open kitchen diner space. Really light. I'm thinking like a lantern window in the ceiling. What I'm slowly learning is that everything is expensive. Absolutely everything, and I've got to set myself a budget. Like, I can't have no budget because I've only got a certain amount of money, so it depends really on the quote for the extension of whether I go ahead or not. Either way, I'll be able to make the kitchen nice, but if I don't do the extension, I'm so excited to do the lounge. I can't wait for this to feel cozy and put your key in the front door and walk in and it's just home. I can't wait for it to feel like that. Do you think moving out will make you want a family quicker? I really don't know. I'm so torn on this. 90% of the time, I think I cannot wait to be a mum and have a baby, and I've always been so excited for that stage of life. Since I was like probably 7, I wanted to have a baby, not gonna lie. Like, I was always that little girl that had dolls, and then I actually saved up my pocket money because I thought you had to buy a baby when I was younger. I was like 5. I've always been a really maternal person, but then the other 10% of me, I can't wait to be, what do they call it? A dinkwad household. Double income, no kids, with a dog. Like, I'm excited to have a clean space, all neutrals, kind of like a chill era of my life. Just me and my boyfriend and Sonny, finding our feet in our home, getting to know adulthood, which I know sounds really weird, but when it's your first time moving out, like doing everything on your own, laundry, cooking, washing, cleaning. I'm excited to find our feet with all that first, feel comfortable in the home, and then think about kids. But I just don't know how I'm gonna feel once I've moved into the house. I might decide I wanna actually live my dinkwad era for a bit longer, or I might decide, actually now I've got this and I feel like I've got a roof over my head, feel settled, I am ready. So I honestly don't know is the answer to that question. Sorry if the camera's moved a bit, my camera stopped recording because I've been talking for too long. But the next question is, how do you deal with ignoring gossip forums like Tattle? To be honest with you, I never think about it. Like, there was one time when I read my thread, I can't remember what website it was on, maybe like Guru Gossip, is that what it was called back in the day? I think that's different to Tattle, don't know if it's still running. And I honestly was upset for about 2 weeks over the things people said about me, and then it got to the end of the 2 weeks and I thought, you know what is the point? I am never reading that again. Obviously I care about my viewers' opinions of me, and I want you guys to feel like you're watching a friend, but people who are just pure nasty and will just be hateful out of spite, I ain't interested. I never ever read it. I think it's pointless. It's not adding anything to my life. I'm really lucky in that on my actual channel and in my Instagram comments and DMs and YouTube comments, you guys are all really lovely. I very rarely get a hate comment. Not gonna lie, it does still get to me even now, and I've been doing it for 10 years. It's never nice to read something nasty about yourself, but thank you so much if you leave lovely comments, because it really doesn't go unnoticed. And I do think that's what makes a big difference with creators, is the community that they've got around them. If you've got a hateful community, like I know TikTok is quite bad for it, I'll often see creators on lives getting frustrated or whatever, whereas I just feel like YouTube is a different platform like that. Everyone here is really nice, and I love that about YouTube and about you guys. Next question is, how do you really feel about moving out? I'm really excited for the renovation process, the process that we're in right now. Like, I'm absolutely loving stripping wallpaper, ripping up carpets. The actual doing of the work is really fun. Organising builders and people to come in and stuff, not so much. This process right now, and the process up until February, so excited about it. The day that I move out, I feel like will be one of the worst days of my life. And I know that sounds so negative, and you're probably thinking, why would you say that? But when I tell you, I am so close to my mum, like, she is my best friend in the whole world. And my dad, we all get on really, really well as a family. But I spend so much time with my mum, like almost all day, every day. Obviously, she works with me at Sunnyside. We relax in the evening together, we have lunch together, we have dinners as a family. I would be lying if I said I wasn't dreading leaving her. Like, I'm actually really worried about it. I don't want it to be a negative thing though, moving out. Like, I'm just trying to tell myself that this is the next chapter of my life, and this is the chapter that I've been so excited for since I was a little girl. So that does make me feel a lot better about it. She's really excited for me as well. I know she is also dreading me leaving, but she's excited for the next chapter. I'm excited to just grow as a person and learn, and just, I don't know, I feel like life will fully start once I move out, but terrifying as well. And do you know what makes me feel sad is the thought that, like, once you move out, you don't really ever move back. Like, these last few months of living with my parents will probably be the last time that I ever do. I try not to think about it too much, but I do think about it when I go to bed, and I have cried about it. Oh, someone said, what will you miss most about not living with your parents anymore? That's so sad. Probably the evenings, because we spend every evening together after we've had dinner. We sit and watch EastEnders, we sit and watch I'm a Celeb. Like, every evening, me, my mum and my dad, and my brother when he lived at home, but he's not lived at home for like 7 years now. He's about 7 years older than me, so he moved out quite a while ago. We've always spent a lot of family time together in the evening, so that's definitely what I'll miss the most. And I think I'll feel it most in the evenings when I'm here, because especially like my boyfriend's into gaming and stuff. If he's upstairs gaming with his friends and I'm sat down here on the sofa on my own, I think that's going to be when I notice it, so I definitely will miss that. Obviously I'll have Sunny with me, and thank God I have, because I'm never really going to feel like I'm completely on my own because she'll always be there. Yeah, I think Sunny actually will help me a lot when I move out with like feeling familiar, because she will be the one constant in my life that I have. From now to when I move out to a year down the line, she's the one thing that's always been there and always will be there. So I'm on my last cheese bite, how sad. It's stone cold now. My chips probably are as well. Oh God. Yeah, they've gone down to a 2 out of 10 at best. Right, should we give this Galaxy caramel pie a try? I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, because I actually didn't like that chocolate pie that McDonald's brought out. I thought it was too sickly. I way prefer their normal apple pie. But I do love Galaxy chocolate. It's not hot, but it's still like lukewarm. Oh, that's much nicer than the chocolate. This to me tastes like a winter fairground, winter wonderland. I never normally get sweet food from McDonald's, like never get the apple pies, never get the donuts or the muffins. I love a nice caramel frappe, but other than that, McDonald's is just savoury for me. I would get this again though. $1.99, that's not too bad actually. I thought it was gonna be more than that. But the next question is, someone said, please talk about your relationship, obviously without personal details. Okay, so I do actually feel a bit more comfortable like talking to you guys about my relationship now, because obviously we're moving in together next year, so he's gonna be in the vlogs. Not like, I don't know, we're never gonna be like a YouTube couple, but he'll probably feature every now and again. A couple of vlogs ago, he was in it when we were doing the carpet, just little clips like that, you know? And obviously when you move in with someone, it feels quite solid. So I want you guys to like know a little bit about him. Not loads, obviously, like nothing too personal, but I don't want you to be like, who is this mystery guy in all her videos? So we've been together since February of 2022. The story of how we met is a weird one, because neither of us can actually remember. He said that when I downloaded Tinder for a week years ago, for that video I did one that's like Tinder matches, choose what I eat for the day. He said we matched on that, and then he found me on Instagram and was like, is this actually you on Tinder? But for ages I didn't know how he found me on Instagram. I was like, how do you know who I am? Then I found out that one of his best friends I used to know when I was 3, which is mental, and his best friend had told him about me and be like, look, this girl, I used to know her when I was younger, because my brother and his best friend's older brother used to play guitar together. So I would go over to his house, I would play with my boyfriend's best friend when I was 3 years old. He remembers it, I don't know, because he's a little bit older. And that's how my boyfriend found me, and he asked me if I was real on Tinder. I don't remember any of that though, and I've never actually gone back through our messages to see what our first conversation was. Maybe I should do that one day, but I feel like it'd be so long-winded. So yeah, that's how we met. Random, I know. And it's so funny that that story wasn't even known to me until like 6 months down the line. What else can I tell you about our relationship? He's a little bit older than me, but not loads. I was born in August of 98 and he was born in March of 97. His family are lovely. They have 2 dogs, Daisy and Loki. I'll put pictures on screen here. Loki and Sunny look so similar, but not gonna lie, they hate each other. And I have no idea why. Like, neither of them have ever had any beef until the first day they met each other. Loki's quite a barky dog and he barks at other dogs, and I think Sunny just reacted the first time, and now every time they are, honestly, like, it's scary how they react. But they're getting slightly better the more that we walk them together. We need to get it sorted because we want to be having barbecues around here next summer with the dogs involved. Have you got any advice if you don't know what you want to do job and career wise? Honestly, my dad said this to me years ago when I was in the car. I remember it so vividly, and I was stressing about not knowing what to do, so I must have been like 15 at this time. And he said to me, don't panic, there's a reason you don't know what you want to do. Something will come up and you'll think, oh, that's why I didn't know, and it's probably going to be something you're not even expecting. And honestly, that put my mind at ease so much, because I just kind of like, I don't want to sound like spiritual and a bit airy-fairy, but I just let the universe do its thing. I'm a big believer in that, like, your path is pretty much mapped out for you, and yeah, you can make your own decisions to decide what you want to do, but at the end of the day, I don't think you will ever make the wrong decision, because I think everything is a learning curve. I'm going off on a massive tangent, but yeah, ever since I kind of like, I guess, put it into the hands of the universe instead of my own, I stressed out so much less about it. And then obviously the year later I started my YouTube channel, and then when that became my job, I was like, oh, that's why I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in school. So yeah, just try not to stress about it too much. If you need to be paying bills and earning money, just find a job to like get you by and make the most of it while you're doing it. What's a goal you want to achieve next year? Obviously, moving out, that's a big one, but my main goal for next year is to feel happy and settled once I've moved out. I think it's gonna take me a little while, if I'm honest, because like I said, I have got a few worries about it. And I actually watched Demi Donnelly's vlogs when she moved out, and she said she felt the exact same, which made me feel a lot better actually, because I've been dreading it for years. And my friend Alice as well, she's really close to her parents, but she's moved out, she's got her own house, and now she loves living there. And same with Demi, she seems to love having her own space, having her own house and her own life. I want to get to that point. I'm hoping it will be next year, but I think it might take me a little while. But that's a big goal of mine, is to feel resettled in a new place. I'm not putting too much pressure on next year because it's going to be a big year no matter what with moving out. So I don't think I'm going to set any like career goals as much, although, say it here, I was thinking about this earlier, and I would love to do Vlogmas next year. How fun would that be in the new house? I feel like I'll have so much to film, so much to talk about, so many Christmassy plans with my boyfriend in our own house for the first time. Let me know if you want to do Vlogmas. It's not a promise, but it is in my mind. What was the most surprisingly expensive item you've had to get for moving out? Oh, there's been many things. Let me have a look at my house cost note. Probably the electrical work. Like, I was a little bit naive and I didn't think it would be that difficult to like put plug sockets in and stuff. And pretty much the whole house like essentially needed rewiring, and it was a lot of money, like over £1,000 for the electrical work, and it's nowhere near finished. There's still all of downstairs to do. There's not much in this actual room, but the extension, the kitchen, new lighting, new plug sockets, yeah, that's not gonna be a fun one. Will Sunnyside HQ be relocating when you move? No, it won't. I'm actually living close to home, so my journey to work will be pretty much the same length. So there's no reason to move the office because I'm still close to home where I am, thank God. If I was moving far away from my family, I think I would be dreading it 10 times more. I'm so sorry if you're not really interested in moving out and like house stuff, but pretty much all these questions are about that. So someone said, do you think you'd be moving out if you didn't have a boyfriend? Honestly, probably not, because I don't think I would thrive living on my own. I'm not really that kind of person. I do get very lonely, especially because my job is pretty much by myself. Like, I have a team of people that I talk to, but I don't have any like colleagues that I work with 9 to 5 every day. Do you know what I mean? Being self-employed, I'm very in my own head throughout the day. I kind of need company, and I think if I lived by myself, I would be really lonely, so I just don't think I would have done it. I bought this house before my boyfriend and I were together with the view that I would move into it with someone one day, but I never really wanted to move in here by myself. Why did you decide not to get a new build house? Mostly because I wanted to stay close to home, and there is a new build estate near my house, but I've heard really bad things about it. Not new builds in general, just about this particular estate, like that the houses aren't very well built. There's been all kinds of problems. People were living there for a year and then moving out. There was a time when I was considering it, like before anyone lived there, but now it's pretty much full and people don't seem to like living there. So I decided against it, and then this house came up and it's not a new house, and I knew that it would need a bit of renovating, and I also love renovation stuff. Always have, always will. Love the topic of property. I love any like property shows. I'm a bit of a nerd for it, so I was also really excited about having to do work. Now that I am doing the work, it's a lot of effort, but I think when it's done, I'm gonna be so pleased with it. I am really rambling, so I need to like wrap this up soon. When you move out, will you still do all your cooking with a bread knife? Do you know what? I'm stressed because I need to find that exact bread knife that my mum has. People comment on this all the time when I'm cooking in vlogs. I will use the bread knife for chopping an onion, for doing anything. Buttering bread, I use the back of the bread knife. Literally every single thing can be done with that knife, and I will argue that until the day I die. But my mum doesn't know where she got it from because she's had it for years, and I just don't think any other knife is going to feel the same. I'm really worried about it. Will you be getting another dog when you're in your own home? No, I highly, highly doubt it. I can't imagine the chaos of having 2 dogs and a baby one day. I think I would rather have Sunny, have a baby, get another dog when the child is a bit older so they can like learn about the puppyhood and like enjoy that stage, rather than pure chaos. I also don't really think Sunny would like having a sibling, like a fur sibling anyway. So yeah, I'm definitely not in a rush to get another dog. Although my boyfriend would love a sausage dog one day, so maybe further down the line. But for right now, Sunny is my world. She is everything I want and need in life. Okay, last question, and my camera battery has just started flashing, which is the key sign to shut your mouth. So, last question is, what is your 5-year plan? Move out, do a bit more traveling. I would like to have a baby in the next 5 years, if I'm lucky enough. Obviously, finish the house renovations and everything. I just want to be happy, content, settled, living my double income, no kids with a dog lifestyle, but then have a baby as well. I definitely want to have a baby before I'm 30, and I'm 25 now, so that's in my 5-year plan, I guess. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this video, I think. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. Thank you very much if you sent over a question. I'm really sorry if I didn't get around to answering yours this time, but I'm happy to do another mukbang relatively soon. Maybe we should do like a little progress update with the renovation and stuff, but obviously I'll be documenting that in the vlogs as well. Do subscribe to see my future videos. Join the journey of making this house a home. It's going to be a fun one. But anyway, my loves, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely week next week, and I will see you again next Sunday with another little video. Bye guys. Love ya.